Hello and welcome back to Next Level News. Today we have GTA 6 leak, we have more crappy CEOs, and guess what? Caleb Stinson's back, our resident Nintendo geek, to talk about the latest Nintendo Direct. All that and more up next on Next Level News. Starting off this episode, GTA 6 was leaked. Several dozen videos of test builds for GTA 6 were leaked by a single hacker who claims to have close to 100 videos of test builds and even the source code to the game. This same hacker released the source code to GTA 5, hacked Uber, Samsung, Nvidia, and Microsoft. The hacker is part of a hacking group called Lapsus. This group is based in London and even had 7 members arrested last year for their illegal acts. So, who is this person? Well, we don't even know. All we know is that they claim to be a miner and go by the online name of Teapot. Well, Teapot may now be under federal investigation. The leak featured several locations, several characters, one female, one male, marking the very first time in the series where a playable character is female. Unfortunately though, I can't show any of these leaks as Rockstar has gone ham sending out DMCA notices left and right to anyone showing the leaked footage. But it is out there on Twitter if you want to find it.
Ryuga Gotoku Studios is announcing 3 new Yakuza games set to be released in the upcoming years. Like a Dragon Ishin, Like a Dragon Gaiden, and Like a Dragon 8. While the announcements are certainly big news, we also technically received a 4th soft announcement. You may have noticed that despite these being games that follow the Yakuza characters in the Yakuza universe, none of the titles contain the word Yakuza. That's because they're officially changing the series name here in the West to resemble the series' Japanese name more closely, Like a Dragon. Ishin is a remake of an older Yakuza spin-off we never got in the West, following ancestors of the Yakuza characters during the end of the Edo period. Gaiden follows the series protagonist Kazuma Kiryu after the events of Yakuza 6. While many believe 6 to be a proper bookend for Kiryu's story, it seems RGG Studio isn't done with him just yet, leading us to the ultimate reveal of Yakuza 8, where both Kiryu and Yakuza 7's protagonist Ichiban Kasuga will both be playable characters. Sorry, Kazi, maybe you'll get to run your orphanage in peace one day.
Alright, this one's a bit crazy. So a hot topic recently has been the allowance of gambling to be featured in Twitch streamers' streams. Many popular streamers and YouTubers have been called out for essentially pushing gambling on their young and impressionable audiences. One of the people called out for the story was a major streamer by the name of Mizkif, who was called out for promoting gambling by fellow streamer Trainwreck. Mizkif responded by calling out Trainwreck's affiliation with the scam crypto Joltcoin. Trainwreck then responded by blasting Mizkif for covering up a sexual assault. The sexual assault in question happened between Mizkif's streaming friend Crazy Slick and the victim was a fellow streamer, Adriana Lee, who then later corroborated the story. Turns out Mizkif and Minx, another streamer part of the group that Crazy Slick and Mizkif are in, convinced and gaslit Lee into staying quiet. Lee claimed that she had passed out at a house party, where Slick had then proceeded to touch her chest and neck, claiming that he was checking for a pulse. This was covered up by the entire organization, who then proceeded to try and blacklist Lee from further events to try and keep her quiet.
A Nintendo Direct has dropped, and with it, a solid lineup of things to expect early next year, depending on who you ask. We start with a Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Engage, the latest in the series. The game itself seems intriguing, with characters able to call on the spirits of previous Fire Emblem characters to help them in battle. But it seems all the internet was able to take away from the new trailer was how dumb the new Lord's hair looks. Fire Emblem and the Adventure of the Toothpaste Twins launches on January 20th. And RPG fans are in luck because the month after that, Octopath Traveler 2 launches. The trailer introduces us to 8 characters we'll follow this time around, each having a same or remarkably similar class to one of the characters from the first game. Another new feature, a day-night cycle that will impact what kind of actions you can take in the overworld. Octopath 2 will launch on February 24th. Our next big announcement was a really big one, which is odd considering how small these guys are. Pikmin 4 has officially been announced. The last mainline Pikmin game was released over 9 years ago on the Wii U. But we'll probably have to wait just a bit longer. There's no word yet on a release date. Our last big announcement is one people have been waiting for a long time. Information on Breath of the Wild 2. We now have a name, Tears of the Kingdom, and a release date, May 12th. Not bad for a trailer that lasts all of 90 seconds. The Direct was also littered with a plethora of smaller announcements, including like 1,000 farming RPGs, Atli Ariza 3, a new game from the creators of Danganronpa, cloud versions of Resident Evil 7 and 8, along with the remakes of 1 and 2, a remaster of Tales of Symphonia, a remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse's Western debut. Now, that's all the time I've got. I've got to get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Esports organization G2 Esports was in the news as they lost their spots in the Valorant Esports League after being banned by Riot Games. The organization was banned after G2 CEO loudly and proudly showed him hanging out with the raging internet misogynist Andrew Tate. Tate has been literal poison for months on social media after a quick rise to fame and an even quicker fall from grace for his blatantly sexist viewpoints that he encouraged all men to have. Not to mention the fact that he ran a prostitution ring, then moved it to Romania after being investigated by local police. And then there's rumors going around about his involvement with the Romanian mob operating out of his casinos that he owns, since they make literally no money. But we are getting sidetracked. Anyway, Riot held an emergency meeting after the video was posted of the CEO popping champagne with Tate and swiftly removed G2 from their league roster. This makes sense though, as Tate has basically been banned across the internet, as most social medias like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook have banned Tate from appearing on their platform. And that will do it for Next Level News. As always, I'm your host, Cara Nations. I'll see you next time. I'm off to go play Splatoon 3.